this jazz guitar lesson. I'm Chris Whiteman, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be looking at using minor pentatonic scales to navigate the 2-5-1. Many guitarists come into jazz from a background in rock and blues and have familiarity with the minor pentatonic scales. So I wanted to share some approaches for utilizing them for improvisation over the 2-5-1 progression. We are going to be in the key of C major, so our 2 chord is D minor 7, our 5 chord is going to be G7 altered, and our 1 chord is C major 7. We're going to be using 4 different minor pentatonic scales to navigate these changes: A minor pentatonic, A sharp minor pentatonic, B minor pentatonic, as well as E minor pentatonic. So let's take a look at some examples of single note lines using minor pentatonics. Okay, so let's look at the theory behind these lines. So in all 4 examples on the D minor 7 chord, I am using the A minor pentatonic. So let's look at how that relates. Here's my D minor. The A minor pentatonic is A, C, D, E, and G. Right? So the A in relation to the D minor is going to be my 5th. The C is going to be my flat 7. The D is my root, the E is my 9, and the G is my 11. And these are all good note choices. So the thing to remember is how do I match the pentatonic with the chord? So whatever the minor 7 chord is you go up a 5th, right? And it takes me to A. I'm going to drop down the octave. All right, so that's the scale I'm using for the D minor 7. So for the next chord, the G7 altered, I slid up 1/2 step. From the A minor pentatonic, I went to the A sharp minor pentatonic. And the notes of the A sharp minor pentatonic are going to be A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F, and A flat. And I'm calling it A flat because when we put it against the G7, I want to call it a flat 9 and not a sharp 1. So how these notes relate: my A sharp is going to be my sharp 9 of the G altered chord. The C sharp is going to be the sharp 11. The D sharp is my sharp 5. The F is my flat 7. And the A flat is my flat 9. So you get all 4 potential alterations on a dominant 7th. You get flat 9, sharp 11, and sharp 5. And you get the 7th. So a series of notes for that chord organized into a minor pentatonic scale. What's nice is that I'm playing one pattern for the D minor that lays here, and then I move just up a 1/2 step and I get tones for the G altered. Now for the C major 7, in the first 2 examples, I continued up in 1/2 steps. I moved up to the B minor pentatonic, and this is going to work over the C major 7. And so the B minor pentatonic, B, D, E, F sharp, and A, right? So the B is my major 7, the D is my 9, the E is my major third, the F sharp is my raised fourth or sharp 11. So it's a color tone. It's going to, have it's going to sound a little bit dissonant if you're not used to this color, but it's a very nice modern sound. And then the final note of the B minor pentatonic is A. So that's my 6th, right? So major 7, 9, major third, sharp 11, and 6. And again, there's just really nice motion. I do A minor pentatonic on the D minor 7, A sharp minor pentatonic for the G7 altered, and then B minor pentatonic for the C major 7. Now, if you don't want the sharp 11, in place of the B minor pentatonic, I used E minor pentatonic in example 3. And what's interesting is B minor pentatonic and E minor pentatonic share 4 of the 5 notes. The E minor pentatonic, instead of the F sharp, it has a G. So we get rid of the sharp 11 by raising it up to the 5th. So the E minor pentatonic is going to be E, G, A, B, and D. And in relation to the C major 7 chord, it's going to be your major third, your 5th, your 6th, your major 7, and your 9. So you get some nice colors with that as well. One way to remember is wherever your root is on the major 7, go up a major third, and that's where you build your minor pentatonic from. Okay, now the example 4 is probably the simplest. What I do is I move back to A minor pentatonic for the C chord. So we have A minor pentatonic for the D chord. I have B flat minor pentatonic for the G7 altered, and then when I move to C major 7, I just slide right back down to A minor pentatonic. And that gives us, against the C chord, it gives us a 6. The A is your 6, C is your root, D is your 9, E is your 3rd, and G is your 5th. So again, like I said, this is probably the simplest, because over the D minor 7, I play A minor pentatonic. Then I move up a half step for the G7 altered. And then I move right back to A minor pentatonic for the C major. Right. So obviously, the examples will get you started, thinking more in a musical way. The scales obviously are just scales, so they don't automatically translate into music. But it's important, I think, to understand why this works. So, mess around with this, and hopefully the examples will get you started thinking in a more musical way. I hope this becomes a launching pad, to come up with some of your own ideas to navigate the 2-5-1. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.